Hello,
Hey.
everyone.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Northern Bell Farms. Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Renee. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Sunflower Mom. Hey, Janice. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Three Musketeers Homestead. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Beth. Hey, Pam. Hey, Linda. How's everyone? Hope everyone's having a good Monday.
What
We've
a
got
crazy
stories.
week since the last time we saw you on here. My goodness.
Yeah, it really has been. It feels like a week has been 5 years.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, Lou. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Built on the Rock. Hey, Adele. Hey, Carol. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Little Feet Farm. Hey, Tinker's Wife. Goodness gracious. Lots of y'all in here. Hey, Marla. Hey, Whitney.
Debbie, the fairy house is fantastic.
Stephanie. The what?
The fairy house. How is it? How exciting is it?
Oh.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we love it. We're trying to get settled. I mean, we're mostly there. We've got a few boxes left, and then there's a lot of boxes in the basement, but it's
All
like
the pantry
canning stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Stuff that doesn't have to immediately be unpacked. So we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But we have gotten, everything, right?
There's a few boxes in there that are kitchen stuff.
Yeah, a few.
Like
at this point, we're done with kitchen stuff.
I don't have anywhere to put anything else. More kitchen stuff.
We downsized so much.
Zach, how was your first day back to work?
Like vacation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it felt like you went on vacation.
Everybody kept asking, like, are you well rested? How was the move and this, that? I said, no, now I start my vacation because I can actually sit down.
Hey, Jackson Farm Estates, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you. Yeah, it was a very busy and tiring, especially this weekend. We went back to Frankfort and got our last load, which was the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
The big stuff. And it was hard.
So that was Saturday, which last weekend, right before we went live last Monday, we had brought a bunch of stuff down. Yeah. All the essential stuff, the beds, all the big essential things that we absolutely needed. We left behind like the hot tub, the fridges, the deep freeze. Was that the toolbox? The toolbox. Yeah, Gary's garage.
Stuff that was in there that Zach wanted.
Right. All the really, really
Kathy, the smoker is still there. It's the last thing to get, but Zach's going to go get that by himself.
Yeah. So like the smoker. So, our side-by-side Buzz.
Yeah.
So we have one trailer and we rented a U-Haul. So we had to use the trailer for Buzz this round. And then I'm going to go back and get the smoker because the smoker is on a jet ski trailer. So like really little wheels. And I don't trust it to like pull it. So I want to put it on a trailer and pull it that way.
Hey, Cindy.
So I'm going to go back. I was going to go back this weekend, then I realized Saturday was Halloween. So we have some just kid stuff that we're going to do this weekend. So I'll probably go back the following weekend.
Jennifer said, where do you buy the Bigfoot? So my stepdad actually made those. He's really, really talented. He can make anything. And he just made them for us. He doesn't do it as like a job or anything. Just for fun and kind of entertainment.
Yeah, and we actually put them on the side of the garage.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It is really cool. I know Mom, she posted it in the Snap Tribe today.
Thank you, Alma.
Little smoking wheels, exactly, Veronica. Don't want to burn them off on the interstate.
I cannot wait to fire that thing up, though, and feed people. It's going to be great. Thank you, Jackson Farm Estate. We are so happy to. It still feels like we're kind of on vacation.
Yeah.
I told Zach again today, it feels like an extended vacation. And like we decided to stay a little bit longer.
Right.
And that we're still going to have to go home. But we are home and it feels like home. It's just so nice that it feels like, it's a whole separate place that we have to leave eventually. But thankfully we don't.
It's not. Tiffany, we will get with what happened with Charlie here soon once everybody gets on. So we do have a bunch of stories. I want to talk about her, myself, and my mom tackling the heavy stuff. And then we're going to talk about Charlie and his funness.
Veronica, the kids have dug in and adjusted pretty well.
Yeah.
We actually finished, besides like a box of books to unload, we finished their upstairs, and we're going to have to show y'all on a video because it is so cool. We put our old couch up there, and they have our old TV, which is not an old TV. It's a very nice one.
Yeah.
And they're just, I told him today, I went up there to spend time with him while he was on the phone. And I said, you guys are so lucky to have this space. You know, as a kid, I can't have imagined having something like that and having a whole upstairs to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But we've got some exciting things coming for them. Are you done at the old house? Hackett's Healing Hollow said, yes. Besides the the smoker, we are done. What was I saying? Oh, the kids. We've got some exciting things coming from them. Raylan is actually starting gymnastics tomorrow, which is really, really exciting. She'll get to go once a week, and it's literally around the corner. So that's really, really cool. And Wyatt is getting back into karate / jiu-jitsu. I know it's not the same, but he did karate before, and now he's going to be doing jiu-jitsu. So he starts that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they're really, really excited.
He's going to be for quite the adjustment. His is 3 hours long.
Yeah, twice a week.
Yeah, but it'd be good for him.
Before
he
it was
loves
like an hour, but it was, I mean, it basically added up because it was like every day for an hour. Cindy, any news about Jed moving? Jed is coming. He's working on getting someone to move his house, but he will be here soon. We can't wait. Just
like everything with everything, it's just everybody's jam packed. So he's calling around to a bunch of people. I think you got a guy finally today that hopefully won't be too bad. But yeah, we're going to get him down here. 823
Nori said, hi, Jen. Just wanted to let you know I love the comfrey salve. I was pressure cutting for the first time and burned my inner arm. After using ice, I remember the comfrey salve and it helped. Well, I'm so
awesome.
Happy to hear that. I was actually unpacking all my stuff today and I can't wait to get back into it.
Yeah.
Get to make it again.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you about the comfrey real quick, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all know I took that cutting and put it in my old Xenia bin that I had. Well, he was controlling outside until I had something like super heavy, and he helped me. Like he was clearing out the greenhouse and all that good stuff.
Picking up stuff.
Yeah, taking the green stalk down, and so then that requires dumping soil to get it to stack. Well, I'm loading in something super heavy into the U-Haul, and I look over and I see him dump the comfrey. I was like, no.
It was like slow motion.
Yeah, and he's a gardener. He knows, but he just thought I wanted it. Which it looked dead.
He was like, well,
my bad. Heidi, so we're gonna let him decide, but he hasn't been down here yet. So what we're thinking is behind our garage, facing the mountain.
Which is a beautiful view.
Yeah, so facing away from our house. That way we're close, so it's easy to hook him up with electric and water. But he doesn't have to stare at us, and we don't have to stare at him.
He can sit on his front porch and see a view, and we can sit on our front porch.
Exactly.
And we don't have to stare at each other.
Right. So we're thinking that's a good spot, and it's
Karen.
kind of it's not just like a house stuck in the middle of the yard kind of thing.
The couch looks weird from this angle, but it fits the room perfectly.
It does. It fits.
Y'all, I can't sit on that couch. Every time I sit on it, I pass out and I wake up and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
So comfortable.
Yeah, it really is. We
books wait.
That way.
Over there. I just unloaded them all, my Homestead books and our new TV, which is awesome.
I just want to start the fireplace.
I know.
Like, it's so nice.
I
know. We got really cold today, and then it got really hot, and now it's like finally starting to cool down again. Yeah. So it's just that weird time frame, and it makes me appreciate this place even more because this time of year and off-grid life sucks.
It's hard.
I'm just gonna go. It sucks.
Yeah.
Because like your house will chill down, and you're like, man, I'm freezing. So you bundle up.
Yeah.
And then you almost get to the point to start a fire. And you're like, we got to start a fire. It's too cold in here. Then it gets hot like in the evening and you're like, open all the windows.
Yeah.
And you can never figure out what to do in that time.
Nighttime is the worst when you try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And you stock a wood burning stove so heavily so that you can stay warm. And then you wake up at 2 a.m. and you're just pouring sweat, but it's cold outside and it's a rough time of year.
Yeah, Cindy, we did. The fireplace is all cleaned out. It's one thing that I'm, pretty comfortable with understanding if we're in good position or not. And so we searched it and had it inspected and all that good stuff. So it's ready to rock.
Teresa said, what kind of sofa is it? Do you remember the name?
I don't.
We got it at a local place. He was really cool.
He named it FAB, F-A-B. That was the
like
acronym.
Fabulous?
No. It was like an acronym like F, A, and B stood for something. But I don't remember. But it was he marked it FAB.
It's a sectional, and it came in 6 different pieces.
Y'all saw that video. Oh, my gosh.
It was new. It was a newer version.
Yeah.
The line or whatever. I don't know what you call
it. Yeah, Sammy's.
Sammy's. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Tammy said, remember, if you see a blue SUV and a white dog camping in your yard, ignore anything you see. All is well.
Park over at Jed's house.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Thank you, Evelina, for saying you pray every day from us. That is amazing.
Thank
and
you.
We appreciate that so much. Hey, Mayberry Homestead. Glad you're here.
Yeah, so every bone in our bodies are sore, like at every ounce of them.
I think mine is mostly my right side because I use that to hoist. Because I don't have like a whole lot of upper body strength, but if I could get something on my shoulder or my thigh, I could hoist. So I can barely bend my arm. It's real sore. Oh my goodness. It's all worth it though. At least we're done. Hey, Robin R. So glad to see you.
Great. So we are going to use the central air and heat. But the wood burning stove, that's the insert in the fireplace. We're going to test it out and see how well it does to heat down here, and hopefully use that through the day.
Yeah.
And just have our heat off to save on the bill, and then maybe just kicking on at night. For mainly two reasons. When we were done at the old place, it's exhausting for us, especially for me because I have to work and she has to homeschool the kids. So having to get up every few hours to wood burn stove, it makes the next day hard, and it really makes me not enjoy winter.
Right.
And that time, like I dreaded it back in the day. I couldn't stand when it came to wintertime because I knew the work that was involved. Even though it was worth it, I didn't like getting up every 2 to 3 hours.
Hey, Nancy.
Warming the house because it just made the next day so tiring.
Yeah.
So we will probably try to use it and kind of get that little hint of off-grid life like throughout the day, but then kick the heat on at night.
Hey, Garden Hire Arlene, new subscriber. So glad you're here.
Oh, that's awesome.
We love that. Hey, Donna. They're upstairs.
So they said they're
out.
new to the channel. Jen and I actually had a conversation with that. Like if people that like join our channel now and see this place and what we're doing, like if they go back and look at old videos, like what in the world just happened?
It'll be cool though. So yeah, if you are new, definitely go check out our older stuff because we did not just randomly get in our house. It was definitely an adventure.
Right. And if you want to
we definitely earned it.
Yeah. And if you kind of want to follow the story,
hey,
we had in the playlist Get to Know Us some of the more this is who we are kind of things instead of just like garden how-to kind of videos.
Hey, North Star.
So that would be your place to start for sure.
Thank you, Daniela. We love it very much. Hey, back to my garden roots. Poop stories.
It's been burned up this week.
Oh, goodness. Yes. So the hot tub is hooked up. It's filled up. And we started warming it up yesterday. It's just a 110. It's not a 221.
Well, you can convert it.
You can, but so far it's just 110.
Right.
So it takes it only heats up like 2 degrees an hour if it's decent temperature outside. If it's really, really cold, it takes longer. But it is up to temp and it is ready for it.
I think we might be getting in it after this live. Archer Miss, my first live. Welcome.
Hey, Spill the Tea. Thank you so much. All right, so people want to know what happened to your truck.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the truck. Everything we're gonna talk about story-wise in Wednesday's video, you'll see visuals. So it was couch day, and we backed the couch up to the front porch, and we got all the boxes.
Just me and him.
Yeah, just me and him. We had to hoist the boxes up, push them up, kind of like the hot tub story. Let me give you in a minute. Huge boxes, so big that we didn't fit in the door. Like we had to take
literally as big as our bathroom. You couldn't put the boxes in the bathroom.
No, we had to take the chairs outside and bring them in, and they were in multiple pieces for the most part.
Hey, Sunny's place.
So my mom bought a trailer. She's like leaving it down here because her driveway's small, and she's like, y'all will need it more than I will, so just leave it down here. So we used it. Well, where the tire goes down to sit up, well, it's the old one. They've adjusted and put a new one. But there's a big black bar that sticks up. So if you put your tailgate down, it like hits it, but it can slide down. We've learned that the hard way because it hits the trailer. So I knew that was the case. So I slid it down easy because the end tables that we have in our bedroom were in the back of the truck along with the TV. So we took those down. We got done doing all of this. Pretty tired after that because it was a lot of work. It was hot. And I'm like, I'm going to go take my truck back because we drive around the garage and I park all the stuff beside the garage because it just lines up nicely. Well, I forgot to put my tailgate back up. And so she was sitting on the side porch. I had my windows down, music off, and I'm just coasting and driving over, doing a bunch of curves, which was the main problem.
Basically a half circle.
Yeah, didn't even hear a noise. Not one noise on my truck. And when I got out, I said, oh no, I left the tailgate down.
Yeah.
So that black bar, which sits right on the tailgate, when I turned, it didn't move, but my tailgate did. And so my tailgate is in all the way. Bad. It would not close, but I was able to get the handle out enough to get it to close. And before we get into there, no, it is not something that you can just dent fix. Like if there was a total for a trailer, my tailgate, it is totaled.
It's crunched.
Yeah, so
it's very crunchy.
But it was just such a silly mistake that it's like, why didn't you just put your tailgate up? It's bad design for a trailer, first off, that you can't have your tailgate down.
Right.
But yeah, it was bad.
He told me, he said, I think I really messed up my truck. I was like, oh, it's probably not that bad. And I saw it and I was like, oh, that's ugly.
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll get it fixed. Not a big deal.
Really looks like a farm truck now.
Yes, it does. It's not in its beauty and its pride.
Yeah, no.
But now it has character.
Very much so. But thankfully, it's just the tailgate. So, I mean, exactly. I can take it off.
Sorry. We're just exhausted and too much on our mind. And, when you get that drained, you just don't think what you're doing. And it just, accidents happen. But thankfully, it was not a, people accident.
Little Mountain Life said, I've been destroying my tailgate hauling lumber lately. Farm truck for life, no doubt.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, there was a few rough days. Today was better. Yesterday was rough. We were tired, just really, really tired. But we had to unload the U-Haul because we had to turn it in. So it had to be done. And him and his mom, we knocked it out. And I don't know how we did it, honestly. Like, I think I wasn't even there at some point. I think someone else took over my body.
Oh, my goodness.
Yesterday was a bad day. I mean, overall, like, we had a lot of fun doing what we did. But I don't like adrenaline. I used to when I was younger. I would love to get adrenaline and like chase that kind of thing and do roller coasters, do all the stuff that gets your heart rate up, but not like, that like fun stuff. Yesterday, I had so much adrenaline going at so many different points that I really thought I could not handle anymore. It was just scary.
Yeah.
It was not good adrenaline.
Yeah. So if we want to go on and get into that. So, 3 main items.
Yeah.
4, really. But one was like super easy. We didn't think it was going to be the deep freeze.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 main big items.
Merciful
when we were at my house, our old house, we had help. My dad was there. We had plenty of people there. They could assist and just
someone who could help him, and then the women could focus on the inside.
Right. But when we got here, we knew it was just going to be her and my mom and me. And I was like, we got this, y'all. Y'all strong. Y'all know y'all strong. Y'all just trying to act like you ain't. Like, we got this. So the first thing we had to do was Gary's toolbox. Now, listen, y'all, this is a mechanic's toolbox.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's, as wide as this couch behind me.
Maybe it weighed 1,000 pounds.
Maybe
more, maybe 2.
Because it was full. Thinking back, probably could have emptied it out.
Could have.
But we didn't. So we just closed it up and we went around and I tied down all the doors so they wouldn't shoot out.
So first of all, tell them how we got it on the U-Haul at our old house.
Oh, yeah. So at the old house, the new owners, he's actually our cousin. He has a Bobcat. So he actually used the Bobcat to get it on the U-Haul.
Which was awesome.
Fantastic.
But I looked at Zach and I was like, okay, well, this is great. What about when we get there?
But I told her, I said, well, at least we ain't got to go up the ramp.
Right.
Because, U-Hauls, you got a pretty big ramp you got to go up. So I was like, at least we ain't got to go up. We can go down. So I'm like, let's do this first. Let's get it out of the way because it was like the last thing that we did because we did our house, then went down
exactly,
to the
Marstar. Encouragement does not build muscle strength. Like, listen, you can say anything you want to, but I am not as strong as you.
I know you are. But I kept telling him, I was like, but with me, we can do this. I was like, I'll take the blunt. I really need y'all for like stability, like to make sure it doesn't fall on me and this and that, like just keep me steady and do a little pushing. I'll do the pulling, y'all do the pushing. Well, like it's concrete out in front of the garage, and we got it as close as we possibly could. And U-Haul has a really bad design. So the ramp is flat, but when you pull it out, it's like down here. So from where the top of the U-Haul is, the ramp is actually down here. So it's quite the drop.
Yep.
And so when you have something heavy, you're like,
yeah. And you get it over that ledge, it just goes.
Yeah. So like I'm like against this thing as hard as I can behind the dolly, and I'm like, y'all got this back here? I was like, y'all hold the handle, maybe brace it a little.
Yeah. Okay.
So
got it.
So like I'm like, are we close to the ledge? Are we close to the ledge? And so it hits, and then it just doesn't move. I'm like, okay, everybody good? Everybody good? And then we keep scooting, and it finally drops, and it takes off like coming down the ramp, and I'm just like scooting.
It's like that scene on Home Alone. Didn't he put a toolbox down the stairs? Yep. And all the tools are bouncing out, and it's just going wild. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Just everybody move. Everybody get out of the way.
Let it go. Just let it go. Thankfully, it just scooted down, hit the rocks, and stopped. Yeah. But it still tilted like.
And then we all went.
I looked at him and I said, we got it off the U-Haul.
Yeah, that was the easy part, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, North Star, this was his dad's toolbox.
Yeah, huge toolbox.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I can't, because it's on wheels. I'm like, the dolly is not going to serve its purpose here. I was like, we got to get it on down to the rocks so we can get it lifted up. So we were able to get it onto the rocks pretty good. I mean, it just sunk in the rocks and just digging into it. No roll at all because it was so heavy. So I was like, okay, it's not gonna roll onto the dolly. We gotta pick it up just a tad so I can get the dolly underneath of it. Well, that was a workout on its own, just lifting it up like this much so the dolly could slide into it because you couldn't tilt it at all. So we were able to get it tilted and get it on there. Now they have to tip it to me on the dolly. So we start trying to move and it's just digging in. I mean, we're just grounding the gravel. It's not rolling whatsoever. We're all the resistance there is. So my garage does not have a garage door. It has a door like a house does. Yes. So you have to get it over the lip. Well, we get to right there. And I'm thinking we've made it. Like we just got to get over this little bitty lip. And then we're on concrete, and I can just roll it wherever we want to.
Goodness, and everybody says, see a few hernias coming. Yeah, a few hernias and a whole lot of hemorrhoids.
That should be a shirt.
That's what this movie consists of.
How would you sum up your movie? A few hernias and a whole lot of hemorrhoids.
Yep.
If there ain't some truth in that, I don't know what is. Thank gosh, we got a flushing toilet. Okay, so we're at the lip, and I'm behind it, and them two are on the outside. I'm like, okay, I'll do all the pulling. You will just lift it a little, get it over that lip. So I'm like, you do the countdown. Everybody's pumping up. 1, 2, 3, and I pull, they push, and it turns, and I go down, and it goes down too, and I just scoot my leg out the way.
Apparently there was too much push and not
enough pull.
Because me and Carol, we were ready. Yeah. We're like, all right, we're going to push it. Apparently we pushed it a little too
much. So hence, they're stronger than they think they are because they literally pushed me in the
thing, it hit the ground.
I mean, it took me, it's like, it took me half a second to move my leg out the way. I landed on my knee so hard. I have a knot on my knee that is like the size out of here, right on the concrete. But it was better than that thing landed on my leg.
I told him, I said, whatever you do, if it's going, just let it drop and you get out of the way. Don't put your fingers under it. Don't put your toes under it. Just let it fall.
Yeah. Okay. So they come in and we're looking at Dolly and Toolbox just laying on the ground. And they look at me and say, what are we going to do now? I'm like, we're going to lift it up.
I said, how about we just have an upside down toolbox?
She sure did.
Fine,
I said, no, we can't be doing that. So it was like halfway on the dolly over here and then like laying on the concrete of my garage over here. And so I was like, let's just lift this thing up because we can get our fingers under it because it's up. And they're like, but it's just going to land on the dolly and then we're going to have all these issues. Fairly good point. Yeah. So we were able to get it over. They were freaking out.
In front of a wall.
Yeah. And
so that if we pushed it, the wall would stop it.
Right. And like she was super nervous. Everybody I was like, this is actually a good thing.
Dying. I was like panicking inside.
I said,
I just didn't want anybody's fingers or toes to get smushed because it would have chopped them off.
I mean, it would have crushed a finger if it landed on it full force. But I told him, I said, this is a good thing. Like, we're in the garage. Like, we no longer have to get over that door because y'all
just kept talking the whole time.
I said, y'all just threw it.
Are just crying.
I said, y'all threw it in the garage. I mean, it's in. So all we got to do is just lift it up now. Thankfully, us three were able to just lift it up, and the wall caught it because it was going, and it's in the garage now.
It is.
I told them, I said, that's the worst thing that we'll have to do today. They said, there's a hot tub.
Yeah,
I said, I promise y'all, this is the worst thing that we had to do today.
The fridge actually turned out to be a whole lot worse incident. So we couldn't. You okay?
Everything all right up there?
Hello? Oh, okay. The fridge couldn't come in through the back door because there's not enough space and we couldn't pivot and all that fun stuff. So we had to take it to the front door, which we had to disassemble the gate so the dogs wouldn't escape, put them in the basement, undid the whole fencing, got the fridge in. That's when I used my thigh. Me and Zach's on the front side pulling it
in here.
But we would push, 1, 2, 3.
Like literally it's right here. The door is right here.
1, 2, 3, we would push, he would pull and get it up all the steps. There's like 6 steps. We get it halfway in the door, realize it's not going to fit. Had to take it daggone near the whole way apart.
Yes, I had to take all the handles off. And so our front door has this like, it's just a decal, wedge
just a thing.
Yeah. But it kept catching that. So I had to on the dolly, take the fridge like almost all the way to the ground. So like I'm like my butt's on the ground basically. And I'm like pulling it up just a little. And they're like, what are you doing? They start pulling the table this is on, which is really old and cracked. Mom about breaks it. Meanwhile, I'm like laying down. It's sitting on my forearms.
He's like, get it down.
Yeah, because the fridge is so big. Like it was an appliance dolly, but it's still not as tall as a fridge. So it's laying on my forearms. I'm sitting right where Jen is, on my knees.
Yeah.
Like, can we move it? Can we move it right now? Because this thing's heavy. We finally get it in. And I tell him, I'm like, all right, I need help, like, lifting this up. So we lift it up. And then I realized this light that's right here is really low. I'm like, all right, I need y'all to push it back down for me. Because my plan was to sit it up once we got in here and, like, roll it around. But that wasn't happening because of this light. So I say, give me a push. Again, doesn't know her own strength.
Too much pushing.
Thinks she's weak. She did it before I could get my foot on the dolly. Well, it was going, I was going, and it almost landed on me again. I was like, my goodness, we have had too many near-death situations here. But we did get it in. It's safe.
Yeah, that's good. It still works. I don't know how, because it was on its side for a while.
Yeah, so after many breaks.
Grace, it was our fridge. So there was a fridge here when we got here. And we had just bought that new fridge, so we wanted to bring it with us. So now it's in the dining room, just awkwardly sitting there. We'll figure out a spot, though.
I can get dark all of a sudden. Hang on.
Better?
No, whatever. Anyways, okay. So
how good is your life insurance, Melinda? Says Lance.
It's actually really good. I made sure it was very large for them. That's a whole nother story, but it's good.
Mary, we did not get to keep the tractor. They took it with them.
Yeah, but we're gonna buy one, which we got to get in here.
Yeah.
We're finally in, so now we can start thinking about that stuff.
Right.
Really, it's kind of one of those things that we're like letting the first bills hit just to kind of filter it out, because you do all your planning, you know what it's supposed to be, but you really just want to pay a few.
Yeah.
Pay a couple months and then be like, okay, now let's go look for something that's kind of pricey.
Because everything we bought, we just paid for.
Right.
So getting into more debt is not something we want to do right now.
Right.
Gossmania said, can you put the fridge in the basement? Zach was actually talking about that earlier, and I was like, listen, I need a few days to calm down.
That's where it needs to go. That's where it will go.
Get my adrenaline back down before we even think about tackling that.
Because when you own goats, and if anybody's interested in getting goats, especially dairy, like you need multiple fridges.
Which Sue said you don't need 2 refrigerators, but we actually do.
Yes, you do.
Because when we get the goats and milk, we have to have that extra room.
Yeah, if you're wanting to do dairy in any form or fashion, because I mean we freeze a lot. But then you still need defreeze. Either way, you need refrigeration when it comes to any kind of meat animals or dairy animals, just because you're going to get a lot of that, and you need to have your own fridge and Homestead fridges.
Hey, Indiana Backyard Gardener. Hey, Hardneck Farms. Hey, Lynn. Finally caught you live. Hello, hello. Hey, She's Gone Country Farms.
So Drops Family Garden. We did put the deep freeze in the garage.
Yes.
That's in there, which it was super easy, and everything stayed frozen, which was really nice.
So we were so tired, and I hate to admit this because it's not something that I'm proud of, but we were so tired. But it was really, really cold that night, and when we got here, we just could not fathom getting any appliances off of that U-Haul. But it was like 45-ish, like 48, I think, to be specific, outside. And we were like, well, if we leave it on the U-Haul, we never opened anything. So it was still, insulated and frozen. And we were like, it just has to stay tonight. Like, we cannot physically do it. Someone will get hurt.
Because we had to get all the animals out of the trucks.
Yeah,
that was the rest of the chickens.
And it was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, Rico and Suave. And I looked at her, I said, I can't do it.
And I was like, it should be fine. It really should be. It's cold tonight. We never opened anything, so we left them in the U-Haul, and then first thing the next morning we checked them, and everything was still froze, thank God. Yeah.
Couple of questions, Veronica. You're exactly right. I should be concerned. Good life insurance policy, and she's shoving things on me.
What?
I did not. Pushing really hard to put really heavy things laying on me.
I told you, I said, and I specifically told him this, and I even said to Carol, I said, nothing that we own, literally nothing, even though I love a hot tub, not even the hot tub, is worth somebody getting hurt in this process.
She looks at my mom.
If it has to go, it has to go.
I'll split it with you.
Not true.
And Elizabeth, do you have generators in case your electric goes out? We do not, but we are going to. That's one of our very top priorities to make sure that we get on here.
Yeah.
I thought there were some good ones. Okay. So we're about to get to Charlie. Ugh. Just hang on, because we got to talk about the hot tub real quick. So her and Mom were the most worried about the hot tub over everything. But they didn't move it onto the U-Haul. My dad and I and Christian, my cousin, did. And so
there was 3 men that moved it, and that's why I was so worried about it.
But they just watched. They didn't put their hands on it. They didn't feel how easy it was to move. And here's the thing about it. When you have weight, if it's condensed into a small spot, it's so much heavier, like a toolbox. Now, the toolbox isn't small per se, but it's much smaller than a hot tub.
Yeah.
So when it's all in that toolbox, it's so much heavier.
Right.
Then when it's in a hot tub, which is really big and spread out, really your weight's like in the motor, but it's just easier when it's a bigger item and the weight is spread. So when we were able to pick that hot tub up and I pushed, I was like, that pushed really easy.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
when I saw you scoot it, I was like,
oh, yeah. And it's not on wheels. It's plastic. It's smooth. It scoots. I was like, we got this. Cause we actually pulled it up the U-Haul. And so that was nice. I was like, if we can do that, we can get it over here.
Thank you, Abigail.
So she was like, and she's right. I mean, I was really dreading it, but she's like, it needs to be on our porch.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's concrete. It's covered over top. It's easy right out our door.
Well, we thought about putting it in the garage because there is a drain.
Yeah.
But then I thought, most of the time we get in it is when the kids go to bed. And if we're in the garage, that's just way too far away. Like, we need to be right here where we can hear and see.
Yeah. And she's right. I mean, it's a perfect spot because we still have a front porch where we put our rocking chairs and just rest. And then we have a side porch that you can still sit on, but there's a big hot tub on it. So I said, okay. I was like, all right, this is the plan. I have no worries about getting it out of the U-Haul. It's going to be easy. I promise. We'll put it on the ramp, just slide it down. We'll put it on a dolly, and I promise you all, it will scoot easy.
This was the last big thing.
Yeah, the last big thing. We're already pretty tired, especially after the toolbox. Like, we were, muscles were worn. But we had already done the fridge, the deep freeze, and a bunch of other furniture things that seem minimal.
But I said, dang it, I was hoping to get a hot tub. A lot of people were counting on us leaving it there so they could get it.
Yeah,
no.
There's a lot of things that we left at a house that I was like, we'll just buy new. But that was not something that you just buy again. So
Charlotte Parton, thank you so much for that super
chat. Thank you very much. Okay, so we get it out, and I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull it up on the dolly. I'm going to be underneath of it. You all push. We'll get it to where it sits on the porch, and then we'll all three get behind it and just push it up.
It was actually a really good idea.
And it worked out perfectly. The only scary part was we couldn't get it as far up on the porch as one would like. Like, I wanted it like here.
Well,
like this is the porch, and here's
we didn't realize there was like a little garden bed with rocks. So we get to the rocks, and we're all pushing, and it's not moving.
Yeah, and so like every time they get close, I'm like, all right, I'm going. But then like when I let go, it comes back down to here, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want this hot tub to land on me. So like Jen's like holding it, I'm pulling it. She's getting the rocks. Yeah.
In the thorn bush, just getting ate up.
The rose bush right there. She's just getting ate alive. So we finally get it to about like this porch hot tub. Like it's sitting like that. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to really make the jump here and just go because I don't think we're getting where I want it to be. And thankfully it held. I was able to slip out. Well, what we messed up on was I was on the left end, and then it was Mom and then you.
Yeah.
So when we all pushed, I pushed. And mine went up, but then that put all the weight on Jen because it wasn't equal. And then here she is in the rose bush. Like, I mean, you can't see her.
Saving my hot tub. I don't care what I have to do.
She did not let go of the hot tub. All you saw were her hands holding the hot tub, and she was just completely engulfed in the thorned rose bush. And I was like, Mom, just run over. Because I can't let go on my side because then I'm going to drop. I'm like, Mom, just get over and help her. So you got her and Mom in the rose bush, in it. And we
that was the one thing I cared about. The one thing.
So thankfully we get it right up. I mean, it wasn't the problem, but it kind of was. But it was still easier than anything else we did that day.
It was just balancing on the porch ledge, the concrete part. I had somehow. And then that part was easy. We just slid it off, cleaned it up, filled it up.
Yeah, she's ready to rock now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, picking thorns out of her butt.
Yeah, literally. Actually, in my chest area was the worst.
Just tell me. She got thorns in my nipples.
It's awful. Like the worst pain ever.
Oh my goodness.
Mary, yes, we do have internet finally, which is why this.
Oh my goodness! And speaking of that, so
that was fun.
we like moved way more country than we were, like way more into a small town. And
apparently, we thought Frankfort was.
Yeah, right. But the internet is fantastic, y'all.
Top notch.
We uploaded a 4K video. Yeah. For the first, our latest video we did was 4K, which we never do because it takes forever. We usually only do 1080p. It uploaded that 4K video in 5 minutes.
It did.
It was nuts.
It's
like
awesome.
Before I get done doing the settings at the beginning, it's already almost done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. And it's so great because I mean, I have to have it for work. And now that I'm 100% work from home, like it has to be reliable.
How exciting is that? Zach never has to go back to occasionally.
Occasionally, if it's something real serious, I
not
have to go
through the week, which is awesome.
Yeah. But anyways, internet is fantastic. And we have good cell service as well.
Yeah. It's really, really nice. We are adjusting, though, for sure. It has been quite the adjustment, and we're still not totally there yet. It is a small town, and we love it. It's so perfect, and we're so glad we're here. Mm-hmm. But we thought Frankfort was small. So this is an adjustment.
Yeah, we thought Frankfort was small, and it has over 30,000 people in it. And now we're in a place that has less than 3,000.
Yeah.
It's a great town.
It's a definite cultural shock, which we talked about last week.
It's not a culture shock because, well, I guess it depends on how you live. When I hear culture, I think people.
No, like just overall.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
No.
Not in a bad way, though. Like, it's a slower pace. The things that
Which is good for us.
It is good for us because we rush too much.
Yes.
Way too much. We think that we need to get so much done in a day. And I'm really excited that this place might slow us down.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes we need to in certain areas.
And we're very fast-paced people, and this has been good for us. And it's made us a little angry at times, but we're getting used to it, and I think it'll overall be a good move.
The biggest adjustment I have to deal with is when I go into a gas station. Be ready for full-blown conversations that take 15, 20 minutes before you get out of the gas station. Lots of talking, but it's becoming extremely beneficial. I mean, because we need to get to know the community, like the pigs. I mean, some of y'all have shown interest, but we haven't actually sold like any of them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against anyone. Like, it's just a really far trip for you two people to come to get a piglet. So we've got to get to know a little bit more of the local area, and start figuring out, that farm area and getting the community going here locally. So
hey, Raven's Nature.
It's turned into a blessing because I feel like we know more people here already than we did in Frankfort.
We really do. We've already made like relationships that we didn't have in a town that we lived in for 30 years.
Right.
Which is awesome. We really are getting out, and the kids are getting out. They're making friends, and it's going to be, we're going to absolutely love it. We'll adjust. It's just like a shock at first.
Well, and see, that's the difference with Frankfort. Like, it took us 15 minutes to get to town, but it was like the same town.
Right.
Here, it can take us 1 minute to get to town.
Yes.
But there's nothing there, really.
Thank you, Wild Family Farm.
So we've just got to get adjusted to go into the next town that's bigger, that has all the things.
Yeah.
And just being a little bit more efficient about it.
Yeah.
One thing I know is the feed here, like there's a Southern States and a Tractor Supply. They're both just
yeah, we're gonna have to travel for animal feed, unfortunately, which we'll probably do like a half monthly or monthly trip.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like wow.
We're kind of picky about what we feed our animals, and we want the ratios and the percentages to be right. So
I wouldn't blame. I don't know why I can't think of their names, but there's a lot of people that like order bulk, so maybe we can start looking into that to where it's delivered to us.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of companies that do that, which would be really cool.
Yeah, like she said, first off, that's like the one and only thing I will truly miss about our old place is the closeness we were to a roller mill.
The roller mills is awesome.
We love them. It was local. It's been there since the 1800s.
Yeah.
And like, it was my favorite place to go. So that will be the one thing I will miss. And if we can't find anything, we will take the trailer and like get a month's worth. Like, we'll go there once a month and get a month's worth because it's that good.
Yeah. Naturally, and he said, when we're at the family place in Pike County, it takes us over 30 minutes to get to Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have been to the grocery once. I mean, we had to go to 2 different stores, which we talked about.
Which y'all heard about that. The meatless Walmart.
Yeah. Meatless Walmart. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to make a grocery run and try to get what we need. Because right now, we have essentials, but not like a full fridge of food. And I like to have food here, just in case, and not have to run out all the time. So that'll be interesting for me.
Wendy, you're
Hopefully
right.
I can find what I need.
Wendy, you're right. Like, we're ready to slow down.
Yeah.
There's been times like so like 2 things. Like, when I do like a woodwork project that doesn't have pressure on it, like, I realize how much I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy doing it. But if it's something like
Raven's Nature, that's actually where we're going. Bertman's Feed in London.
That's what we're gonna try out.
Yeah.
But if it's something that I feel like pressure that I have to get down like that day, like, I don't enjoy it.
Right.
Like, I sweat a lot. It's, frustrating. I catch myself. So I'm hoping this place teaches me to slow down.
Yeah.
And be like, it's okay. Like, they lived before you did this project. They're going to live after it. So just slow down and enjoy the process instead of rushing it.
Yes. Oh, okay. They use Bertman's. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I was looking them up online and I saw that they have everything, which is like our roller mills. Like, we even bought our dog food at the roller mills that we had in Frankfort and Baghdad. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Brenda, you need a cow too. Give us a minute. We may.
Absolutely. Yeah, everybody says so. The land's looking for pigs.
Yeah.
We've never actually spoken to them. We might have to reach out and see, but we've never met them or had any conversations.
Yeah, we had a couple emails that said they reached out to Sutherland, let them know that we had some for sale. So if they reach out, we'll definitely discuss with them.
Yeah, we're excited to slow down. Just an adjustment. How are you want to talk about Charlie? Charlie. Charles Manson.
Okay, so after all those sad events that we just talked about, yesterday, moving the toolbox, moving the fridge, moving the deep freeze, moving the hot tub, and y'all, that was just the big stuff. It was a 26-foot U-Haul full of all kinds of things. 26. So it isn't like that was all that we did. It was like another house.
Thank you, Abigail. That's so sweet.
With 3 people. So we get done. I mean, my bag barely is moving. Like, I'm hunched over like the Hunchback from Notre Dame. Like, I am creeping around, and we all are, not just me. We all are. So I'm like, I really would like to go ahead and drop this U-Haul off today because of work tomorrow, because we had it till Monday. I'm like, it's empty. Let's get it out of here. So we go drop off the U-Haul, grab some food because we had nothing that whole day.
It was like 3:00 and we were starving.
Yeah. again, the rush, right?
Yeah.
Like we need to learn to slow down and eat lunch and this and that. But anyways, we stop and eat lunch. We talk about things and stuff. We just kind of hang out. Then we get back, and she's like, "Oh no, we get back and Buster's out."
Yes,
That's
he was
right.
out just eating the weeds.
Yeah, and so the night before we had put Rico and Suave in there, and it's rut time.
Mhm.
So putting a new, even though they've been together and they know
get
each
along
other,
well.
they've been separated for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, actually longer than that because we were breeding Charlie with the girls, so probably a couple months. So when you put two bucks back into the same place, testosterone's just like all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like jumping on top of each other's back, all that good stuff. And the poor weathers are just the weathers. So Buster just got out the fence.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "We've got all our fencing. Let's give them more room. They need more room because we had just threw it up.
One more section of fence, not an extravagant, just somewhere for them to get away from each other."
Right. And we wanted to give them put a section into the old barn, like in the good part, but in the old barn so they could get out of the weather.
But it's the one that has the structure problem. So we didn't want to give them too much, and we didn't want them to be able to hit their horns on anything. We just wanted a little sliver to where they could get out of the weather.
Right. So how the barn works is like you have a hallway, and then on the outside's where we put it within the inside.
And
so
they can't touch anything.
Yeah, so they don't even touch the barn. So we get Buster back in, we get the fence. Again, back is like this. Like I'm hauling like yeah.
And it was so hot up there because it's on top of our hill, which is not even really a hill. It's just a slope.
Yeah, it's just a little slope. But it's just a distance.
10-degree difference up there. It's always hotter.
Yeah. And it's so funny because we was watching the weather, but like down here, nothing's like really your weather because it's there's no major city.
We have our own custom weather here.
Right.
Unpredictable.
We was watching it. My mom's like, "Oh, it's gonna be cold today." I was like, "It's not. No. I promise. It's gonna be 70 and sunny." It's only rained once since we've been here, and it's been awesome. But anyways, we get up there, and I'm like, "All right, here's our game plan. I know where this was gonna end, and this one's gonna end. So let's just put those up, and then all we'll have to do."
Thank you, Transylvanian Ron, for that.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Is move the existing two out, hook them, done.
Done.
You know, so that way we don't have to do every single pose with Charlie all over us. And he's been good. Like we've been petting him. I mean, he's been really nice. So we go. She's on the one corner. I'm on the other. I open mine, hook it, fine. She hooks hers, but it's loose. And in the barn, they have rocked and concreted so much that I have to hammer the Premier One fencing it. So I was like, just hold it. You stay on the outside. We're good. Like they're going to go eat the fresh grass. Everything's fine. Well, I didn't really make a mistake, but I made a mistake. I should have went all the way around the big barn and came where she was and never got inside the fence and then hammered it down.
But he stepped inside. I was like, "What are you doing?"
But
this wasn't ever my plan for you to be in the fence.
But we have gotten along so well. Like we have had no issues. Like I've been in their pen and he's not had a problem. But I should have been smarter. I knew it was rut. New buck entered his pen the night before. Now I'm basically a buck to him as well. And now there's 3 bucks. And it's starting to get a little full of bucks in his pen. Well, as soon as I stepped in here he came at me. Right at me. And so, just immediately grab the horns like I do. And I know how to deal with him if he does it. Stick him in between my legs. If I really wanted to try break him, I'll try to wrestle him down to the floor or to the ground. But that wasn't today.
No.
Daddy weak.
Too tired.
Yeah, too tired.
Too tired. This isn't like a morning event. This is like 5 o'clock in the evening and we're exhausted.
Yeah, so I grab his horns and I just walk over to her. Again, another mistake. I should have just been like, "I got him. You get out, hammer it down."
Well, he told me to get out. I said, "I'm not leaving you. I'm not getting out of here."
At this point, you weren't in yet because we were fine. I had it.
Yeah, I was on that.
And but I walked to you to get out.
Yeah.
Remember, I was like, I got to walk to you. What I should have done was just hold Charlie, tell her to come in, hammer it down, and then we just get out. But instead, I was like, I need to hammer it in for whatever reason. The woman just lifted toolboxes and tried to throw it on me. I should have known she could have hammered the daggone steak into the rock.
I'm just tired.
Yeah, so I walked over.
Not in any sort of mind frame to be doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, so I walked over, and usually when I get out of the fence, Charlie 100% respects it.
Yeah.
Well, I got out, and he went like this with his horn, and that's when bucks are super dangerous. The head butts aren't so bad. It's when they start using their knives on their head to try to cut you. And if anyone doesn't know, you have major arteries on the inside of your thighs, and that's where they shoot for. So you really got to watch. He was this close to getting me, and then it was like, okay, you're not respecting the fence, because he just started trying to tear it up.
Or any authority whatsoever.
Yeah, and so we're on the outside of fence, yes, but he doesn't care.
And we were stuck because the barn was behind us. There was a pile of logs and the fence and Charlie. So we couldn't go anywhere if we wanted to.
So I grab his horns again on the outside of the fence, and he's just coming through the fence. And this is a Charlie I've never seen before. He has never acted like this. We've been through rut with him before. He hasn't acted like this last year. And so I'm just holding him to death. And at this point, like, we don't care about the fence. We're just trying to get Charlie to
make it out alive. Hey, Big Bear.
So I'm pushing him back. She actually gets the hammer.
I had a hammer in my hand because I was ready to hammer the fence.
Yeah.
And he started pushing on Zach so hard that I literally started to fear for both of our lives. So I had a weapon, and the only thing I knew was to hit him, not as hard as I could, but like start
to try to make him away.
See if he, if it causes any triggers in his head. It did not. He did not care. He looked at me like, hit it harder. So I did. I hit him. I hit him in the side. I hit him in the head.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of it, but it was literally life and death. And he just didn't pay attention.
You're getting ahead of it, because here's where it gets tricky. This is when you actually start hitting.
Yeah, like really.
My foot got tangled in the Premier One fencing, and if you have it, you know what I'm talking about. That stuff is like a sticky fish net. When you get
Christy, if we would have had a gun, we would have shot him, but the hammer was my only defense.
Yeah, my foot got caught in the fence, and I landed on my knees. And I'm now eye level with Charlie,
and I'm screaming.
Yeah, that's when it got really dangerous.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I'm holding, and I'm like, after the day, I am much weaker than I normally, because normally I can handle Charlie. Yes, he's strong, but I can handle him. So it literally was like one of those things like you see in like nightmares or scary movies, like with the knife, and like you're just trying to do everything you can to hold it back. And it got to the point to where it was like, I gotta give him a little, and then I gotta push him back. I've got to give him a little, then I got to push him back, because I couldn't just take him down. So I got to the point, and it's not the greatest move in the world to do, but one thing you can do is I put his head in the ground. So I was able to flip him and just shove his head in the ground, while she was able to untangle my foot. Because the reason that's good is because his head's face down. And so like when he goes for that headbutt, he just kind of stops. However, now your face is on the backside of a buck's horns. So if you do weak and he swings, like now we're not talking inner thigh, we're talking head. So I was able to hold him down enough and like keep hitting him with my knee to keep his butt down. And she got me up, and I was able to get up, and then we were able to just hold him like I always do.
And when him and Charlie went face to face, when Zach was on his knees, and I saw the look in Charlie's eyes, that's when I got real with the hammer. I took it, and I was hitting him in the face. I was hitting him in the eyes, in the side, in the stomach. Like I was trying everything, and he just didn't care. He didn't blink. He didn't flinch. I mean, he had one goal, and that was to kill us, specifically you. And I've never hit an animal, but it was just pure self-defense. I didn't know what else to do. It was scary. So we finally got up, and then I took the hammer and I hammered in the fence in like literal concrete. I don't know, because I thought in my head, I was like, I can't do this. Like I cannot hammer this fence into concrete. And all I had was a small hammer, like a one you get at Walmart. And I started hitting it, and it started going in, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I just need to get it in the ground so we can get out of here. And we finally did.
Yeah.
And we closed the fence, and we laid on each other, and we were like, oh my God. Like the situations that we get ourselves into sometimes are funny. Most of the time, 99% funny. This one was not funny at the time.
Yeah.
It might be funny in like a few years or a few months, but it was very scary. And I really thought there was a few moments when I thought we both might die and our kids would be parentless.
I knew I wasn't going to let that happen, but you can never predict a wild animal. He's not wild animal, but a goat in rut is wild.
Yeah.
As tame as they can be, it was literally just, I'm another aggressive male, and I was in his pen.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Anyways, answer a couple questions. Answer a couple questions that you want.
I looked at him. I was like, the situations that we get ourselves into.
So,
we need to stop.
First off, if you have farm animals, especially if you have anything that can even slightly be aggressive, don't do what we did and be exhausted and go work on
Yes,
things.
don't make dumb decisions like that. You know, give yourself rest. The animals can wait. You know, as long as they have food and water, they're fine.
Yeah, we should have never touched them after how we felt. We should have just rested and done it today. Because we weren't thinking as well as we normally would. I knew better to enter the pen. And number two, if I do have to enter the pen, someone said we need a pole with a rope. We do that. Like we put Charlie on a leash because he is actually the best leash goat we have.
Yeah.
If he's on a leash and you walk him just out and let him eat the grass and everything, I can't even speak words. He's like great. So she can like actually just walk him like a dog.
Yeah. And we always take feed with us. That's another thing that we always do. And that time we didn't because we were tired and we just didn't think straight. So many things could have prevented that event.
Yeah, it's just in our mind. We was like, this is super simple. We just move the two poles and we're done. But it's just, you know, whenever you think it's going to be simple with animals, it's not. Yeah. And it's something that we know that versus for some reason just that we thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
We're here. We're alive.
Yeah, we did it. We made it.
Dodge death again.
Yeah. It was one of those things like you know your goat, even though when they're crazy. Like I knew what I could allow him to do. What his main thing was, he wanted to push against me. Yeah. And he didn't. That was I think Daisy. They're going nuts.
How did she get up here?
She knows how to slip through.
Okay.
I know what he wants. He just wants to push. Like he just wants to put his head against me and just push me. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to ram me.
Right.
So when I'm able to get up, if I just I usually put him in between my legs and I cook him, he just kind of pushes and we're fine.
Yeah.
Just didn't do it right this time.
Daisies. Got opinions.
Much opinions.
He's got opinions. But yeah, Charlie's still here and he's good now. He's in the barn and all the other animals are here too. I don't know if we said that, but we finished up all the animals. They're all here. They're all in the barn besides the boy goats that are at the other barn. But it is literally Charlotte's Web. We've got so many chickens, so many goats.
Guineas.
We got the guineas. We did not.
My dad brought a fishing net or like a fish net. And that works so perfectly because I was like doing other things. She's like, "Oh, the guineas were in the house." And I just closed the door.
Yeah, I was like,
"Oh my gosh, yes!"
And I was looking around, like trying to make a plan of how to do this. And I noticed that all the guineas were in the coop. I ran in the fence and shut the door. I was like, "Yes, now we can catch them." Yeah, so we got the guineas.
Yeah,
here.
It was like the
ducks
thing.
Are here. All the roosters. Everyone's good.
Yeah, everyone's
loving life. Dolly's doing great with all the chickens.
Yeah, Jason, Big Bear, you're right. He had the stress of moving and being introduced to, basically a new buck again the night before. And it we just did all the wrong things.
All the wrong things. Yeah. But everyone's settled now, and I think everyone's going to be fine. Yeah. We're not getting many eggs, but, the stress of moving and the season change. Right. We'll get there. But it's been a really long time since I didn't have like an abundance of eggs. I don't like it.
And she actually just now got, what's the thing called?
A skelter. Somebody sent me the egg skelter, which is awesome. I want to fill it up with eggs.
Which, oh my God, y'all, the home warming gift shop given us have just been amazing. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much.
We actually just got our mailing address forwarded, and we're working on getting the P.O. box switched to here. So as soon as we have that, we'll let you all know. I know a lot of people are trying to do, wanting to send us stuff, and we haven't got that address set up yet. But the ones that have sent stuff via Amazon, thank you all. Y'all are too sweet. It's been a beautiful stuff. One of them's right there. Yes. It's a beautiful little saying on the picture, and we got stuff everywhere that you all sent us.
Love it. It's starting to come together. We're working on it.
It keeps getting darker. I think it's like my hand. Like when we do something, it makes it darker. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Are we gonna call the kids down?
Oh wow, it's a minute. Ray Wyatt, you want to come say hi to everybody?
They might be asleep. Yeah. Is Ray coming?
He's a 7-year-old teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here right
there. Veronica said, "Jen, do you have a pantry upstairs?"
Whoa, Daisy. Hey.
Just a place in the basement. So I've got a few places that are kind of acting like a pantry. Some cabinets, and then I have a kind of a showcase cabinet, I guess you would call it, in the dining room that I'm using, and then the basement as well. Yeah, you're both awake. Yay. All right, so tell them what you're doing tomorrow first.
What are you doing tomorrow?
She's got her Halloween costume on, by the way. This is not normal attire.
Gymnastics
and tumbling and cheer. Are you excited? I'm excited for you. She's been wanting to do it for a long time. Wyatt, tell them what you're doing.
I'm in Jiu-Jitsu.
That's right. You excited?
Yeah.
Are you excited? Yeah.
And it might when I'm at Jiu-Jitsu, I have to stay there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a 3-hour long class.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, though. You're going to do great. I'm really excited for you. I think it's going to be great. Get them into the community and get them out, making friends. What do y'all think?
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make friends because they don't take breaks.
Well, they'll take breaks.
Of course they do.
There'll be breaks. It's not going to be that
hilarious.
It's not going to be like last time.
It's not like work where they're going to just like work you to death
It'll
for
be
3
good.
hours.
You'll be good. Why we'll need after 3 hours, Jeff. We'll just throw him in when we get home.
If he makes it the 3-minute drive.
What do y'all think about your upstairs?
I love it.
You love it? What's your favorite part?
Probably the TV up there.
Which one? You got 3.
The big one.
The big one. And so they both have their own rooms and they have a bathroom. And then we call it the common area. It's where their school desk is and the couch and then a big TV that they can watch together.
Mine is the door one.
Yeah. What's your favorite part, Ray Ray?
Yeah.
Right, don't be
What's your
silly.
favorite
Be
part?
still.
What about your hammocks that all your animals are?
Oh, yeah. We got these little, the old school stuffed animal nets. Thank you, Marlon,
Thank
so
you,
much for that
$20
super chat.
So kind of you.
Miss you.
And we also got the hot tub.
Yes.
Yeah, we already talking about the hot tub.
But we got the netting that you used to put your stuffed animals in your corner of your room. We got her 2 of them because she has so many animals that she loves.
She doesn't.
And they get to sleep in their little hammocks now. And then she loves it. It's really cool.
And I have hammock too.
Yep. We do. I just need to wash them and get them up.
Well, we're already 2 minutes over.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been so fun. It's really, really lovely to get to tell y'all our stories because we haven't made a whole lot of community here yet. We're working on it. But in the meantime, and always, y'all are always our biggest support group. And it's just awesome to be able to vent and talk to you all and tell our stories. And we love y'all so much. Thank you for the super chats and the moderators.
Right. Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.